Maybe you heard about this woman that had sex with 100 men. Have you heard about that? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now she says she wants to apparently do it with 1,000 men in a day. In a day. Just going to show you something, and then I want to talk about what this really means and why we're having this kind of discussion in the first place. Because I think it says an awful lot about what we should and shouldn't be doing if we want to be happy. And my bias is to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be really happy at the deepest level. I want to be in love, feel the deepest, largest love, so large, so huge. Love for my wife, for my children, for my friends, for you, for the world. I want to feel intense and wonderful love as much as possible. That's how I want to live. And so watch this. Let's watch a moment of this, okay?
There are days where I'm sat here on a Sunday. I am feeling a little bit more lonely. My friends have all got boyfriends. And I'm like, I see a comment and people are like, God, no one's ever going to marry you or something like that.
No one's ever going to marry you or something like that. I know that. A couple of issues. One of them is nobody really wants to have a loyal, loving girlfriend who slept with 100 men in a day, let alone a wife. It's just the way the world works. People say, that's not fair, Matt. Men can sleep around, but women can't. That's the way it is. I didn't design biology. I didn't design this. It's just how I came into this world. And the other thing is, of course, that if you use sex this way, eventually you're going to burn out and you're going to be incapable of love. There's a theory that you can only love so many people in your life. I'm not sure if that's true, but it seems like it's probably true. And if you waste it, especially if you waste sex on people that you don't love, then you're diminishing the ability for you to love the person that you may really want to love. I think that today we have so many of us sitting on our phones, on our using online adult entertainment stuff online, using social media every day, all day. And as a result, the nuances of real, genuine connection become less and less. The nuances just are, we don't feel them, we don't experience them. We only experience extreme things, strong, extreme things, like someone having sex with 100 men in a day. Really, what we should have is a woman that has sex with 2 or 3 men in her entire lifetime. And preferably the last one is her husband, who she's with 50 or 60 years. That's what we should have. That's what makes us happy. We're designed, most of us, to pair bond. We're designed to be happiest when we're with one person that we really get into and really dig. Now, this brings up the big question that comes up all the time when I talk about the fact that I think you should have sex with only a few people, that you should only have sex with people that you love, and that you should attempt to pair bond and have one person that you just love for the rest of your life. The question is, how do I stop being bored? How do I prevent being sick of that person? You go to a restaurant and you see a couple, they sit down at the table and they have nothing to say to each other because they're burned out on each other, right? They're bored with each other. How can we live that way? Of course, if we're having constant stimulus on our phones and on our tablets and our computers, constant stimulus, we're never bored. We never just sit there and just think. We never are alone with our own thoughts. And we don't really understand that we can sit down with somebody that we love and we don't have to say anything. It's just fine. We already know what she's going to say. We don't have to talk all the time. We don't have to. And we can still love each other so much just being present with each other. I like looking into my lover's eyes. I like looking in her eyes. We look into each other's eyes. We're not smiling or doing anything, just eye gazing. It's amazing. Just wait to experience this. Wait to experience a long kiss where your lips are locked together and you open your eyes and you look into each other's eyes and you're kissing. It's amazing. This is the pleasure and the nuances that builds in our brain when we're not having sex with 100 people, when we're having one person. It's incredibly healing, doing this. It's a way of living decades longer and being thrilled. This woman is basically, I don't say anybody is irredeemable, okay? But she's ruining herself. It's a very unhappy place to be. She says, my friends have boyfriends. And they say you're not going to get a husband. That's true. Why would you? Who would want to marry someone like that? Who would want to be her boyfriend? What does that even mean? Is someone capable of love if they have sex with 100 men in a day? I would say probably not. I would say that they're lost. And the way that you get back is, I know this is tough, shut off the porn, put a parental control on your router, on your phone. Sometimes you have to call or go log into the provider and you can turn on parental controls at that level. So then you cannot go to these websites. Now it'll stop you from going to some good sites, although usually you can whitelist sites. But you just want to start avoiding all the sexual triggers that are all around in life. When you start doing that, at first, it's like quitting alcohol or quitting marijuana or quitting gambling. It's like the world turns gray and empty. You feel what's called anhedonia, no pleasure in anything, because your reward circuitry in your brain is not getting any stimulus and it's flat. Your dopamine is low. The reward circuit has to become newly sensitized again to normal pleasures. That takes a few months. And you just have to avoid all the triggers in the meantime. And then, by the way, this doesn't mean that you don't look at a pretty girl walking down the street or a pretty guy walking down the street or a handsome guy. Doesn't mean that at all. But you avoid looking at attractive people and fantasizing when they're pixels, when they're on a screen. Only real life is permitted. And that begins this long and difficult road, similar to giving up alcohol, similar to giving up anything, any kind of habit, where you become more and more sensitive to normal stimulus. So now you can walk around, you can see a pretty girl, and you start getting a little bit hot for her before you weren't. And if you're as unfortunate and you're a woman like this who has already a tragic body count, today is the day you stop. Today is the day that you give all it up. Today is the day that you focus strictly on taking good care of yourself, avoiding all triggers, avoiding all sex of every kind for a few months, unless it's with somebody that you're dating, someone that you have a possible future with, and you wait a while. You don't just jump into bed. This is the formula for happiness. It's the formula for avoiding this terrible and tragic dissatisfaction and unhappiness that is present everywhere. Now, if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment, as that will help me go up in the YouTube algorithm. I'm often getting a few thousand views here, and our message is values that are bringing people happiness, joy, and a full love that is boundless and timeless and spaceless, a love that's just so enormous. And if you want to feel and experience that love, if you want to live that way, keep watching my videos. Thank you so much.